involved in that. I don't get involved in that at all, really. Yes. I mean, it's going to be great to say I interview everybody. I
yes.
don't.
The pressure of 450 staff, you'll be doing pretty well.
500.
Yes, sorry, 500.
I was brought up once, not brought up, but all the gurus tell you, oh, you've got to sign all your own checks. Yes. You know, if you're running a tight business, you run your own check. God almighty, it'd take me a month to write out all of their checks. So, you know, that's wonderful for some people. Yeah. Well, a lot of it's to do with gut feeling. A lot of it's to do with the fact that I've had so much experience. Yeah. And I've put people on who didn't work. Yep. And I'm sure I haven't put people on who probably would have worked.
And when you have put people on that haven't worked, have you sort of thought back and thought, okay, well that didn't work because of...
Oh yes.
Yeah, and then refine the model.
Oh yeah. You analyse every decision you make with the benefit of hindsight as to whether it was a good decision or a bad decision. You review it, you analyse it, and you work on your strengths and eliminate your weaknesses.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people go to success seminars or business seminars, and you hear, how to be successful, but it really does come down to a lot of refinement, a lot of experience to work out exactly what you need to do in your industry, doesn't it?
Yes, it does, and you need then to, but look, you really need to be the most professional person in your industry, be the most knowledgeable, be the most, you may not have a university education, I don't, but look, don't play with your business, don't just nibble around the edges, jump right into the middle. Somebody asked me a long time ago, a car dealer from a successful Ford dealer in Sydney somewhere, said, John, how involved are you in your business? I said, I am completely immersed in it, and I am. Yes. I am. Yes. I'm not in the water, I'm under the water. I'm totally immersed in my business.
Yeah, I mean, it's obvious you're passionate about the business, you spend a lot of time, energy and focus on the business, hence you get back out what you're putting into the business, don't you?
Yeah, exactly. And again, as I mentioned at that talk that I gave, one of the most single important things about running a successful business, whether you're an owner or a manager, is two words simply, just be there. Just be there. Don't take, lunch, what's lunch? I had lunch today, 6 minutes at the desk, 7 minutes by the time I brushed my teeth. We're going to China. I'm sending 4 of my people over to China. So I'm bringing a Chinese car. I've got the Australian distribution. And they've sent me the agenda. And it's an hour and a half for lunch every day. Now you've got to understand Asian sensitivities and cultural differences. Sure. But we fight back an email say, hey, 30 minutes is maximum. Let's spend that extra hour in doing what we should be doing. It's a long way to go. Yes. We're not going over there to spend an hour and a half for lunch.
Yes. I think it's also true that somewhere along your career you made a decision to be the best.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Look,
you wouldn't settle for anything else. And I think a lot of people go into business and, as you say, they play with it. They go into it, they like to be successful, but they really aren't determined to be the very best.
You've got to get into it. You've got to want it so keenly. You've got to be, in fact, you don't have to be anything, but if you really want to succeed, you've got to be totally passionate about what you do, and you've got to be the best. Yes. I don't care what it is you do, you want to be This sounds ridiculous, but it's not. This is absolutely genuine. If I went belly up tomorrow and I had to sweep the streets, and I'm absolutely serious when I say this, I would want to be the best street sweeper there ever was. When you go home at night, you have your shower and you look in the mirror, you've got to be able to say to yourself, I really gave it all that I had today. I left no stone unturned. I pulled out all the stops. And I'm a bit exaggerating now, but if you don't go to bed at night brain damaged, you haven't done enough.
Yeah, and I think it's a common theme as we talk to individuals.
That's a bit harsh for a lot of people, but if you get halfway there, you're doing pretty well.
Yeah, it's a common theme when we talk to successful individuals where they've got a company, they've built that company up, they're just devoted to the company, and they've made the decision somewhere where it's like, doesn't matter what happens, doesn't matter how successful I'm going to be, but I've made the decision I'm going to spend all my time and energy to be the best.
Yeah, I mean, one of my guys said to me when I took on this Chinese franchise, he said, John, I mean, not too many of them would have dared say that, but we've been there quite a while, and yes. He said, John, he appreciates my maturity, my vintage. Yes. He said, John, why are you doing it? Why? I looked at him and I said, Joe, that's a very good question. And let me ask you a question, just as good. I said, Joe, why wouldn't I? It's not why would you, why wouldn't you?
If it's a good opportunity and you love the business, why wouldn't you?
Yes. Go for it,
So, John, what defines success? Because people talk about that a lot. You know, what does it define for you personally? How do you know that John Hughes is successful? And I'm sure it extends past just the business itself.
Peer recognition, word of mouth reputation amongst the community. I get enough congratulatory phone calls, thank you emails, lavish comments on some of the survey forms that I sent out. I mean, you've seen I'm the only car dealer, and I say this again, to my knowledge, I'm the only car dealer in the world, not Australia, the world, that runs those testimonial ads. So, like this morning, for example, I got a double page ad in the West this morning, as it turns out, from unsolicited comments from people. And I know I'm successful, and I know I'm extremely proud of the reputation that I've got. I tried to work out some time back how many cars I've sold over the years, and I don't know. It's somewhere between 300,000 and 400,000, maybe 400,000. But I'm prouder of the fact that, you know, I've got such a tremendous reputation for being honest, for looking after people. Far prouder of that than I am of however many cars that I may have sold. So how do I know I'm successful? Well, obviously the dollars help. I mean, anyone who tells you that they're in business for anything else other than money, I'd be a bit sceptical about that. Okay, look, you can be successful as an academic, you can be successful, well, easy if you're successful as a sportsman, because you know you can do the 100 metres in this, or you can
get the accolades.
That's fine. But you know, an academic or a in a professional life, if you're a doctor or a dentist, how do you measure your success? I suppose on your degree of customer satisfaction, your pride you take in doing a good job. But you know, this helps too. You know, the advantage of being in business is that money is a great measurement. Now, I'm not saying we all have to go out and try and make a fortune, but you set yourself as to where you'd like to be, and if you can look at it and say, well, at the end of the month or at the end of the year, I've got X or Y. It's good.
So, John, thank you very much for your time. It was a very interesting interview. I think you made a lot of great points there. So I really appreciate your time and being with us at Cre8.
Thank you, Brett.
Thank you very much.
Wow, 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 wow.